Okay, yeah, we're going to be going live here momentarily for Top Rope Report. So, want to welcome everybody that checks us out on YouTube. We will be live in 50 seconds. Hello. What's going on, DJ? How's the new house? How's the new place going?
Not too bad.
Cool. What's up, Greg?
The internet.
Wow, Greg, you're bright this morning. Woo! So, all right, guys, if we're ready, we can get started here.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a special start time of Top Rope Report, 9:30 a.m. I'm your host, the illustrious Mr. Trivia. Joining me every week, as usual, my co-host, my tag team partner, my best friend, the best in the business, the Nugster Greg, and Mr. 24/7. Guys, what's going on? Nah, it's cool. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Friday Night SmackDown and last night's Saturday night's main event. So if you guys are all set, we can get started.
Here. All right, Friday night, SmackDown emanated from the N Market Arena in Savannah, Georgia. There we go. And in true Top Rope fashion, anything and everything. Where'd it go? There it is. Friday Night SmackDown starts off with the one and only Mr. 24/7. And this week, once again, we had an in-ring promo start off where Tiffany Stratton came down the ring to kick off SmackDown. Mr. 24/7, take it away from here. All right, thank you. So, yeah, Tiffany comes out to start up. Big pop as usual. And she starts off by doing her thing with the crowd, what time is it, all that. She said this time last year, I was walking into Money in the Bank with all the hype in the world. Everybody thought I was in over my head. But now I'm standing here as your champion. I beat some of the best. I beat Charlotte Flair at Mania. I beat Nia Jax. At Money in the Bank, someone's going to win and try to cash in on me. And then Alexa Bliss music hits. She comes out. Basically introduces herself to Tiff. I'm Alexa, da-da-da. Like they didn't know each other, but I thought it was a good little spot. And she basically says, I've had my eye on you. You beat Charlotte. And she's like, I almost felt bad for Charlotte. But I remembered you can't feel bad for a narcissist who calls herself queen. So a little shot at Charlotte. She goes on to say that she needs the briefcase and, how it's nothing personal. It's just business. But, she wants the briefcase. She wants to win the title.
she also says how when she had it the first time, she cashed in on Nia, and she liked Nia. Like, so I don't know you, so and then she's like, if you think your rise to the top was fast, wait till see how quick your downfall is. So a nice little promo from Alexa there. It's just nice to see her. It's nice to see her out there talking. She's going to be in this Money in the Bank match, so I'm happy we're getting some Alexa. Charlotte comes out after that, and he's coming out, thinking she's all big and bad, and she says, when I win Money in the Bank, I'm taking back my title in the spotlight. And basically, when I want something, I don't wait for it. I just take it right then. All right, Charlotte. Tiffany comes on, which to me was the best. What she says right here was like, yup, gotcha. There's nothing you can even do or say. She says, you're a hypocrite. Because you said me cashing in and winning this title was taking the easy way out. What are you doing out here trying to qualify for Money in the Bank then? So it was, to me, wasn't a crazy, nothing crazy shot, but it was great. It worked. It basically, even Charlotte's face was like, you got me there, So I kind of enjoyed this promo. Tiffy goes on to say, she called them vintage. Y'all were the standard, I'm the upgrade. And she walks out, leaves the two of them standing there. I liked it. I liked every bit of it, actually. I started off with a B here.
All right, Romans, thanks for the follow. Everybody on TikTok, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I really didn't like this match. I really didn't like this all that much. I mean, Tiffany come out was good. It was nice to see Alexa. She come out, got right to the point. It's amazing that, when she said how she cashed in on Nia and she likes Nia. And then I'm saying, well, wait a minute. Tiffany cashed in on Nia too. So that's kind of unusual for two different Money in the Bank people to cash in on the same champion in two different times. That was kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, it was just, like DJ said, it's going to be nice to see Alexa back in the Money in the Bank. I'm probably going to pick her to win it. And, I really, honestly, the promo really didn't do that much for me. It was just, talking to each other back and forth. I'm better than you, this, that, and the other thing, calling them vintage. I thought was pretty funny. But I gave it a C+.
Okay. I'm up next. And yeah, I mean, other than seeing three beautiful women in the ring, it really wasn't much more than that. The vintage comment, the hypocrite comment. I mean, Tiffany really is really starting to deliver her promos. What you have to Alexa Bliss can do in the ring. Whether it's on the microphone or performing in the ring, it's great. Charlotte, I mean, her outfit, when she came out, she kind of looked like a Disney evil queen with the robe that she had on and everything. But, she got a loud, amount of heat from the crowd. So they're all doing their parts. I mean, is Alexa a heel, she a face? Well, you know what? She's Alexa, and that's a great part of her, because you could have her tag teaming with Zelina Vega one week, and then you have her confronting Tiffany Stratton the next, and that's a great part about her character. And like I said, the amount of heat that Charlotte gets from the crowd is just it's gold for the crowd, because she's really hated. She's kind of the old school, not old school, really, only a couple years ago, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, when he used to get the loud course of who's that's no Charlotte Flair. But the overall promo, okay, what is this to me? We saw a tease of Alexa with Charlotte last week, but there's no mention of them this week, except for the two of them kind of standing in a ring together after Tiffany, did her mic drop, calling them all the vintage. But yeah, I was kind of alright. I liked it. It was a B minus.
All right, everybody on TikTok, show your support here for Top Rope Report. Tap that screen.
Nobody else liked the live. This way we can end live with 69 likes. Kidding. After that, we went to the first Money in the Bank qualifying match of the night, as it was Charlotte, Julia, and Zelina Vega battling for a spot in the ladder match. Trivia, you are up first.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed this match. It was nice to see a first-time meeting with Julia and Charlotte. I mean, they, where they saw each other, backstage once in a while, but to see the two of them in the ring together was actually pretty exciting for me. Zelina Vega, well, we knew she wasn't going to win, and it just really came down to, Charlotte and Julia, who was going to win, who was better. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, Julia is now in the Money in the Bank. It was really a really good match. I enjoyed it, and I think Julia is going to make big waves on SmackDown. She is the newest member, as Nick Aldis said. So I think she's gonna make a lot of waves in there, and it was a really good match. I gave it a B+.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know when Julia and Charlotte ran into backstage. Everything Julia had been doing was on Raw, not on SmackDown.
When she came out of Nick's office, they were looking at each other when Charlotte was in the backstage area.
So, okay, anyways. So, once, as I was saying, there really wasn't much between the two of them. Zelina Vega being thrown in there just seemed like an odd pairing of the three. Why you put a existing champion in the Money in the Bank ladder match is always confusing to me, but that's what they did. But this was okay. Didn't like it nearly as much as Trivia did. I mean, a lot of the movement, and once again, we've said it before, it happened with Julia in her first few matches in NXT. It takes a little while. It takes some time to get used to wrestling, in front of these huge crowds she probably never wrestled more recently in front of. 12,000 and change. And Zelina Vega is tiny and doesn't, not that talented in the ring, as we'll explain later on. Well, like the neck cracker that Julia gave, I mean, it looked way too slow. There just wasn't a lot of fluidity and smoothness in this match, which is very disappointing with somebody the caliber of Charlotte Flair. I mean, yes, when she was put in that Ring of Saturn by Julia, she played it off as to be extremely painful. But this was just, until the last few minutes of the match, it was just very slow. And then in the end, Julia gets the win to earn her spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match by winning how? By pinning the current champion. Whatever. But yeah, I didn't like this as much as Shiv at all. I gave it a low B minus.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining, everybody. Chinchilla, thank you.
Mr. 24/7.
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't into it. I don't know. I feel like, coming into it, I immediately thought of the qualifier they had on Raw when they had Roxanne win. So I'm like, Julia's winning this. Pretty sure she's winning this. And she did. So, Zelina probably in there just so she can take that pin so Charlotte's not getting beat like that. But I just didn't really care for the match too much. To me, from what I've seen, Zelina did the best out of all of them, in my opinion. Even better than Julia. She was coming in with all the big moves, and this, that, and the other. So to me, she did the best out of all of them. I thought they all had their little times, but it's like every time one of them got the upper hand, it only lasted 30 seconds to a minute, and then somebody else that, took over. So I don't know. I wasn't into it at all. To me, Charlotte is just not the Charlotte of old. I don't know. It just wasn't. It wasn't all that to me. And Julia's finish to me, it just. I don't understand how she can win with that finish. It's just a suplex, basically. No. She just kind of holds them up there and suplexes them. So I don't know. I just wasn't into it at all. I went C. And I'm only going C because I thought Selena did pretty good.
Okay.
All right. After that, we then went to a singles matchup. As we say, matchup of Tommaso Ciampa of DIY against Chris Sabin of Motor City Machine Guns. I lead off with this one, and my first thing is I gotta pose a question to Mr. 24/7. DJ, if for some reason you got cut in the face, or you had to shave your beard off and get stitches, how long after that would it take for you to start to regrow your beard?
Well, I think Ciampa, what has it been? Probably 2 weeks now or something? Has it been?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Since the stitches came out. I don't know. That's not an awful lot of. I don't know. This is from a man that shaved 2 days ago, and I'm already looking like I need to shave right now.
Yeah, but I feel like it probably should be a little longer by now, especially with where it was when he shaved it.
Yeah,
it probably should be a little longer than what it is.
Well,
maybe. Yeah.
It's like a little kid. Anyways, so in the initial, you started off Chris Sabin and Ciampa going back and forth. Chris Sabin, was getting the better of Ciampa during the beginning, and then Ciampa kind of started looking like the aggressive wrestler that he was back in NXT. Sabin somehow managed a head scissor takedown mid-move, and it looked like he wouldn't get his leg around Ciampa's head. It was pretty impressive. But as this was going, Shelley wanted to take in a running move that was meant for Sabin during the distraction from Gargano. And then Ciampa faked the knee injury. Candice LeRae then came out of nowhere and attacked Chris Sabin from behind, allowing Ciampa to give a running knee with the exposed knee popped out, getting Ciampa the win over Chris Sabin. More than likely, this is now going to lead to, I'm going to say, an Alex Shelley versus Gargano match, and then we'll get a tag team match between the two tag teams. But hey, if it's going to be a good match like this, I'm all for it. I liked Candice LeRae getting involved with it. They haven't made. Tried to hide the fact that her and Johnny Gargano are married, so why not just put it in the storyline, get her on TV every once in a while? That's just good for her. But yeah, this is a pretty good, solid match. I gave it a B.
Okay.
24/7.
Tatted up. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. This was a good match. Both guys look good. I think with a run in or someone coming in and kind of just interfering, it a lot of times I don't really care for it, but I agree with you. It worked here. It worked because it wasn't a whole lot. It was Candice kind of popping out of nowhere, giving them one little thing, and boom, and it worked. So I thought both guys did well. You know, they were back and forth. They both were able to get all their stuff in, and it works. They have good chemistry. You know, when they get in, whether it's tag team or one-on-ones, they just work good together, and it makes for a good match. Ciampa hitting his finish at the end and getting a win. Yeah, I'm down with it all, especially coming off the last match. I was just ready for something better, and this definitely was. I think you're right. I think we'll get a Gargano and Shelley next time. So, yeah, I'll go B also. I thought this was pretty good.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for the sword. Everybody keep tapping that screen. Yeah. I thought this was a really good match. I mean, Ciampa and Sabin, they're kind of, you know, that's the word I'm looking for. They're kind of like equal in the ring. I mean, Chris Sabin's been around for a long time. Tommaso Ciampa's been around for a long time. So it was a good match. It was an enjoyable match. You know, obviously there was going to be some chicanery going on outside the ring, and then Candice LeRae, which surprised me. I didn't recognize her at first. I just saw somebody standing outside the ring and just grabbed a hold of Chris Sabin and dropped him on the top rope, and Ciampa was able to get the pin. But yeah, we can definitely almost guarantee we're going to see Gargano and Alex Shelley next week, and you know, tag team match with these two guys is still going to be amazing because they're two great teams. I enjoyed the match. I gave it a B+.
Okay. All right. After that, we saw a little what was supposed to be Damian Priest entering promo. Earlier in that, we had seen Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre fighting, and then once again, this came out into the ring area. After that, we then went to a tag team matchup that was set up by an earlier altercation between the Secret Service of Alba Fire and Piper Niven taking on the tag team of Meechin and B-Fab. Mr. 24/7, I can see the excitement in your eyes. You are up.
Yeah, this was a blah match to me. It was just blah. Piper and Alba kind of took control early, but they had, did a couple double team moves or whatever, but it was just, I don't know. I can't get into them. I definitely can't get into B-Fab. I like Meechin. I got really nothing bad to say about Meechin. She does what she does. I guess if I had to say something bad, she kind of is just stuck where she's at. She's not getting any better than what she is. But she's not bad, so I don't mind seeing Meechin. But this was just blah. She got a hot tag at one point. Meechin came in and took Piper and Alba out. Chelsea was out there with them, trying to cause a little distraction. Zelina comes out, pretty much takes her out. They went at it for a few more minutes or whatever, and then Meechin and B-Fab both hit their finish on Alba and got a win. To me, it was, like I said, it was blah. I went C-.
Okay, trivia.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, this was a bad match. B-Fab is not a wrestler. Meechin, I agree with DJ. She's kind of being wasted. I mean, she's good in the ring. She's not great, but she's good in the ring. You can tell she's been around for a while, but the Secret Service, they're just, they're a hard team to beat. I mean, you got Alba Fire, who's been around for quite a while, and Piper Niven, who just, she's a big woman, very agile too. But yeah, I really didn't care too much for this match. I thought it was bad. I gave it a C-.
Okay. All right. We saw a little backstage segment with Jacob Fatu, Solo, and JC Mateo. Jacob Fatu, in the end, said that he does not see JC Mateo as family. Solo tried to do his and whatever it is, and Solo cut him off and told him how to do it the proper way. We then went to a tag team matchup. Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo taking on Jimmy Uso and some guy that I don't think has ever been in a tag team match before, Ray Phoenix. Trivia, you're up first.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good pairing, Ray Phoenix and Jimmy Uso. It wasn't a bad match. JC Mateo, I'm still, really not sold on him yet because I haven't really seen him around much. Jacob Fatu, he's just a beast. I mean, he's going to be. I think he's going to be U.S. champion for quite a while. I see him and JC having a run in eventually. Him and Solo, they're on a path for a run in as well. But I mean, yeah, Ray Phoenix and Jey Uso, I thought they made a pretty decent team. Hopefully, they'll end up putting Ray and his brother Penta together and making them the Lucha Brothers in WWE. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, I thought it was a decent match. I gave it a B-.
Okay. I'm just realizing I never gave the grade for the last match. Just straight up, without even saying much about it, I gave it as a D as in dumb. The fact that Michi and Beak have actually won over Alpha Piper and
Tim.
makes sense.
Yep.
But after this one, yeah, I mean, it was a decent bout. But I mean, other than some of the stunts that Ray Phoenix was able to pull off, it was just a simple match. Mateo, let him, get his finisher on, and then Jimmy Uso seemed to shock Solo at that point in the match where Solo was trying to tell Jimmy he was on the top, getting ready to do an Uso splash, trying to talk to him, telling him, be with me, and Jimmy ignored that. But I mean, this was just nothing more than an opportunity to continually see a little bit more friction between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa for the eventual split of their, I'm not really going to say team, but of their friendship or whatever, unification. But yeah, this was just, one other thing is that corkscrew from Phoenix, and that was really good. I mean, he only got a couple of rotations on it, but the speed that he did it just made it look, kind of awesome. And yeah, I mean, I said it about Raw. If you're gonna put Ray Phoenix in a tag team match, you're gonna put Penta in tag team matches. Just put them together as a tag team. Let the world see how great these guys can be together. People were so, in awe of the way the Motor City Machine Guns came out and how Fraction is. Well, Phoenix and Penta are a combination of both. So just stop with this bullshit is putting together. But yeah, it was a good matchup showing the power of Fatu and JC Mateo. I'll give it a B-.
All right, come on, everybody. Let's tap that screen. Let's get us to 1K here. Come on.
24/7.
Yeah, it was all right. I think all four guys looked pretty good. Solo was out there. Like you said, he was trying to get Jimmy to join back with him, come back home, da-da-da. Jimmy wasn't having it. The one thing, it was right before the match, or right when the bell rang, JC tagged himself in. And you could tell Jacob got pissed off about that. So they're kind of like slowly doing a little, I don't know, they're doing hopefully something to get them, go at it. But I don't know how I feel about JC. I really don't. I think Ray Phoenix definitely stole the show here on this one. There was one point where he was walking the ropes. I think he kicked Jacob. He kicked one of them on the outside, turned around while still walking the rope, and did another move out to the other one. It was awesome, man. Phoenix is awesome. He really is. And I agree 100%. Get them going, him and Penta. Get them going. We need it. but the match was pretty good. You know, it wasn't bad. It definitely could have been better. It was, I guess, it was a simple match, but it worked. Phoenix definitely the best out of the four, I thought. After, you know, they went back and forth for a while, JC hits his finish on Jimmy. And this is another one. I don't like his finish either. I feel like it's just a simple slam. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being petty about the two finishes I said I didn't like, but they're just so simple and plain that how are you beating some of the top guys and girls with these moves? I don't know. But it was all right. I'll agree with the B minus. It was all right.
Okay.
They showed a video package with Legado del Fantasma kind of sitting around the table talking about a triple threat match they will be having against three guys from Worlds Collide, from AAA at Worlds Collide. We then went to the next thing. We had R-Truth come out and give a promo. I lead off, so I'm just going to go right into it. John, R-Truth came out to talk about his matchup with John Cena in the Saturday Night's Main Event. And no matter what they give, sorry, I got a lot of notes here. My left nostril. I mean, no matter what's the word from Mansfield Blake, because of the wild nose here, just totally threw me off. No matter what situation they tell Truth they wanted to be in, it's impossible to not like R-Truth. I mean, the crowd was doing the what chants to him. But, he did he did a decent job controlling the crowd, getting some pops along the way. I mean, this is the most mic time that R-Truth has had, especially by himself. And I kind of see why they just do his things in pairings and not all alone. So they got nothing from this at all. I didn't get any passion, didn't get any heat, didn't get anything from this other than, we've got 180 minutes here that we got to do on SmackDown. How can we fill 6? Oh, let's just throw R-Truth with a microphone out to the ring and let him talk about his match. I felt bad that I didn't like this at all. But because it's R-Truth and he's R-Truth, I'll give it a C minus. I can't go any higher than that.
All right. Hey, Greg, before DJ starts, did we forget to talk about the men's qualifying match?
No, that's next.
Oh, okay. I had it I had it in a different order then. I'm sorry.
I actually really like this. I think it was nice to see Truth getting some time out there. I think because of who he's fighting or who he fought last night is the reason why he got the amount of time he got here. And I thought he did really good with it. He says, everyone keeps asking me how I'm going to handle fighting my childhood hero, but they don't get it. I'm not fighting my hero. The man I'm fighting, I don't recognize him. But, I can't figure out where it went wrong for Cena, and how I could have prevented it. So I like that he's almost taking a little bit of responsibility almost for what's happening. You could tell he's really upset about it. And he's like, then I realized the problem. The problem is power. It's always power. He used to call me his friend, but the more power he got, the more disconnected, he felt. You know, the text messages got less, the replies got slower, the calls stopped. So I like how he was basically trying to gain sympathy, and I thought it worked. You know, he's like, I felt like he was annoyed with me. No matter what I did, it was wrong. You know, and other people I talked to felt the same way. You know, John Cena isolated himself with power. He's like, it's like he's that goblin fella from Lord of the Rings, calling the title is precious. So, you know how Truth is, he always could throw in a little bit of comedy to go along with seriousness, sadness. He brings in he brings it all, you know, at once. So I really enjoyed this. He's like, you stopped having fun and now you're mad that others want to have fun. You know, I don't believe you're happy. He's like, you're the GOAT, and I don't know if I can bring you back, but I'll try. You know, you're not going to take my joy away, he says. You want to ruin wrestling? And I want to save it. I have to save you. So I just love what Truth's doing. He's like, if I have to, I will beat the hustle, loyalty, and respect back into your ass. Awesome. I really enjoyed this. He's like, I miss my hero. I can't deny it. Cena wins. Be riot. And that's how he ended it. I really like this a lot. I went B.
Okay, trivia.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Greg. I really didn't get much out of this. I mean, you know, he's good on the mic. We don't really see him, like Greg said, we really don't see him, you know, doing promos like that by himself much. And, you know, I did get quite a bit out of it, but it just, I mean, I wasn't really excited about, you know, his promo and talking about John Cena and, you know, how he's going to do this and he's going to do that. And I really didn't care too much for it. But R-Truth is a talent in the ring. I believe, in my opinion, he's definite Hall of Famer when he retires. But I mean, I think I could have got a little bit more out of it. You know, maybe a little more raising of the voice, and you know, making it sound like he really means that he wants to beat the hell out of John Cena. I gave it a C.
All right.
Hey, Rodney.
After that, we then went to the men's Money in the Bank ladder qualifying match, as it was LA Knight taking on Aleister Black, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. Mr. 24/7, you're up.
All right. This wasn't bad. It was a decent match. I thought all three guys looked good. It was nice to see Shinsuke. For some reason, I thought he was one of the guys that got released. So this whole time, I thought he was gone. And now to see him there, I was like, oh, cool. So, like I said, it was cool to see him. I thought they all did all right. LA and Aleister, they kind of worked together right in the beginning, took Shinsuke out, and then they kind of focused on each other. But I didn't think, while watching the match, I didn't think anyone really had an advantage. I thought they all were able to do well. They all were able to get their stuff in, and you know, I didn't know who was going to win. I thought they all really worked well with each other. And after they all did their thing, Aleister hit Shinsuke with the black mask, and we see this kind of finish a lot. I didn't mind it here. You know, Black hits Shinsuke with his finish. LA throws Aleister out the ring and steals the win. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with LA winning it. I kind of wanted Aleister Black to win, but I get why they had LA win. I didn't mind this at all. I thought this was a pretty good match. I went B.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, anybody could have won this match. I wouldn't have been disappointed if whoever won this match. I mean, I was rooting for LA Knight. I picked him to win because right now, in my opinion, I think LA Knight's going to win the men's Money in the Bank, but we'll have to see who else is going to be in it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it was. I agreed with DJ there for a minute because I thought Shinsuke got released as well, but I guess he didn't. So it was good to see the three of them in the ring. They worked well together. LA Knight, he was smart. He saw the opportunity after the Black Mass and threw Aleister Black out of the ring and covered Shinsuke for the pin. So that was a pretty smart move on his part. I enjoyed this match. In my opinion, I think the right guy won, but either one, I would have been happy if either one of them had won. I gave it a B.
Okay. Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, nobody seemed to ever really have a clear advantage over anybody else for any extended period of time. So it was tough to see, who Nakamura wasn't getting the win. But early on, you really couldn't tell as to who was actually going to win. And then there was that cool part in the middle of the ring where Nakamura and Aleister Black were both kind of using their martial arts, kind of incorporating into their style against each other in the middle of the ring. And it kind of looked like, LNF was just the odd man out. And once again, Nakamura and Black, it kind of made me feel like, okay, all right, maybe we can get a feud between Aleister Black and Nakamura. The characters and the way that they wrestle, their characters are similar, kind of being kind of deep, dark, and serious. But once again, at the end, Aleister Black did hit the Black Mass on Nakamura, and LA Knight came in, he yanked Aleister Black out. So now maybe we get something between Aleister Black and LA Knight as far as the singles thing goes. So there's definitely many different ways you can take a storyline out of this match. But LA Knight being, the winner getting into the ladder match, we'll have to see. Is he the favorite? A lot of people tend to think so. I tend to say, hey, hold on. Here, hold my beer. There's still 4 more people that can be in it. So, I mean, what if 2 of the other 4 are Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins? You just don't know who else can be in it. So, let's hold the horses, pull back on the reins. Let's not, talk about who's going to win it yet. But anyways, I thought the shoot was a good solid match. I gave it a B.
All righty, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to 1K. We're getting there close.
All right, after that, we then went to the main event of the evening, where it was the tag team of Fraxium, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, taking on Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins of the Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Trev, you are up first.
All right, thank you. Yeah, love this match. I was looking forward to this match all night. Too bad it was at the end, but we knew it was going to be at the end because it was the main event. Fraxium is just a tremendous team. I kind of had a little thing in the back of my mind that, well, I don't think they're going to take dethrone the Street Profits just yet. But yeah, it was a really, really good match. I enjoyed it. The Street Profits proved they're good champions. Fraxium proved they could be in the ring with the best and still, get that close. And, as the match was going on, guys were hitting their finishers and, doing all these funky moves off the ropes. And then the lights went out. And when the lights came on, there was the Wyatt Six. Surprised to see him. I didn't think they were going to be back. A lot of people were saying that, they came back. The reason they made their return was because Friday was Bray Wyatt's birthday. If you notice, they had a cake in the middle of the ring and with them. And, Nikki Cross had just, jumped on. Who the hell was it she jumped on? Who? Candice LeRae, yeah. And, it was just an overall good match. It was a great way to end Friday Night SmackDown. I'm so looking forward to seeing these two get together again and have another match. Hopefully it'll be on the PLE. I gave it an A.
All right, I am up next. This was, there was only about 20 minutes left in the show, which gave them plenty of time to do what they needed to do. Praxium, they just really are so impressive. I mean, some of the double team moves that they use specifically designed for fighting larger opponents is just awesome. And they're just so quick, so fast. You know, you could never team them down. And then you throw in Angel Dawkins and Montez Ford, who are just unreal. So you know this is going to be a great match between the two. I mean, the intensity got put in the overdrive. You know, Dawkins shows the strength and the power that he has. You know, Praxium speed and agility at every turn. It was just, whoa, this is great. And then we, you know, had, you know, both teams, they did their finishers over and over after, you know, a few close calls. Then DIY came down to the ring, looking like they were going to get involved. And that's when Motor City Machine Guns came out to fight him at ringside, and they're all brawling at the ringside. And then Montez Ford flies over the top rope, takes them all out. Dawkins is still in the ring. You know, and he's getting ready to get them down, and he, you know, that's when Montez Ford is up on the top rope, ready for his frog slash figures over, and that's when the lights go out. And we had the Wyatt Six in the ring, and I'm like, holy fuck. They just took everyone out in the match. And it was, you know, even though it was a, you know, a dirty ending and an unfinished match, which we complain about, I thought it was great. I really did. It was nice seeing the Wyatt Six back. And even better, they came out, all five of them. There was no sign, hint, or anything of Alexa Bliss, which I'm happy about. Keep her away from them. But yeah, I liked it. Not quite as much as Trip. I gave it an A-.
All right, guys, let's tap that screen. Let's go. Keep going.
Mr. 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot more I could say. You guys pretty much summed it up, but this was awesome. It really was. I mean, these two teams are great. We've said it a million times. I mean, we can praise them. We can praise them as much as we can, and I don't think we can do it justice because they're just so good. Both of them, Praxium especially. You know, they got great chemistry, so we're, you know, it made for just a really good tag team match. Just everything they did. I mean, I didn't even see anything bad. Like, I can't even think of anything bad that happened. Like, I can't even think of a time where I was like, I kind of fucked up there a little bit. There wasn't. I don't believe. So, yeah, this was all good. And DIY coming out with Candice. They both, you know, all three come out. Machine, Motor City followed along right after them. And like you said, the big Montez hitting the big splash, taking them all out. And the Y6. So when the Y6 comes out, I'm happy because we haven't seen them in a while. So I'm pumped up to see them. And they go after Montez. So I'm like, okay, they're taking out the babyface team. So, because I still don't know what they are, you know, this whole time. So in that moment, I'm like, okay, so maybe they're going to be toward the heel side. But then they go and take out everyone else. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. So then I'm just like, whatever. I don't even care what they are. If they're going to do what we're seeing here, where they just come out and take anyone and everyone out, yeah, I'm down with it. So yeah, they took everyone out, and they get back in the ring after Nikki takes out Candice. There, you know, they get back, in the ring, and then you see the birthday cake there. And it was cool because there was a candle in it lit, and instead of like how Bray used to blow out the lantern, you know, well, Howdy blew out the candle. So I thought it was a really nice little spot for Bray. I really enjoyed this. I gave it to DJ Cole. I'm gonna go B+ here.
All right. Overall.
DJ, overall?
I'll go B overall.
All right, I'll go B-.
Yeah, I would B- as well.
All righty. All right, and that was our Friday Night SmackDown recap. I'm hoping everybody enjoyed that part, and you're going to enjoy this part just as good because this is Nuggies News. So, Greg, take it away.
All right, a couple quick things here. After we will be talking about Saturday's main event, and after his matchup with Damian Priest, it's being reported that Drew McIntyre is nursing several minor injuries and will be taking an undisclosed amount of time off. I think we had talked about it in What If, where what happens if Drew McIntyre loses this, and I think we all echoed the sentiment, well, that he needs to step away and take some time away, kind of do that, and that's exactly, he's taking our advice. He's going to be stepping away for a little while. It was also divulged that last night's Saturday Night's main event, and it is now official. Sunday, July 13th, they will be having an all-women's Evolution pay-per-view. This will follow a Saturday Night's main event on the 12th. They also announced, coming from Atlanta, NXT's Great American Bash. Although they did not say what arena that one would be in, or if it was going to be the Tuesday before that weekend or the Tuesday after that weekend. But is there like an increased excitement at all? Now officially know there's going to be an all-women's Evolution premium live event, guys. What do you think?
Yes and no. I mean, it depends on who they have in it. I mean, are they going to bring other people up from NXT? What kind of matches they're going to have? How many are they going to have? But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think I am too, only because it's not one of the things where they're doing over and over and over. They've only had one, and it was years ago. So I'm okay with them if they want to do it every couple years or whatever. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll agree as long as they make the matches make sense and not just kind of throw them together. Just, let's put this one against this one.
Right.
As long as everything makes a little bit of sense, yeah, I'm down with it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think now that I know, when it was rumored to be happening, I was like, all right, yeah, I'm interested in this. But now that I know what's happening, I am definitely more interested. And now I'm really going to look at, okay, I know it's July, it's 2 months away, but any little thing I see now is that going to be something to lead to a match at Evolution. Kind of the WrestleMania build-up is almost how I feel. Some rumors that are flying around out there, as we did see and we will talk about at the end of Sunday's main event, it was determined that there would be a tag team matchup where it's looking like it's going to be John Cena and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Well, the rumor flying around is that Travis Scott will absolutely have something to do with this match, whether it be just accompanying Cena and Logan Paul to the ring, or all the way to he will be involved in the match. So that's a rumor that is flying around.
Yeah, I've seen something on that too.
Yeah, another thing that is flying around is where the hell is it going? Oh, well, as we all know now, WWE has decided to move WrestleMania 42 out of New Orleans. They're in advanced talks to bring WrestleMania 42 to Las Vegas. It's very, very, very close to being done. But here's the issue. Right now, there is a yet to be announced concert is currently scheduled for Legion Stadium on the same weekend of the 18th and 19th of April. The Las Vegas Convention Center, which is where they had the WWE World Fan Expo, is also booked for the weekend. So WWE has to concert or the weekend they do WrestleMania. In Las Vegas next year. So, we'll definitely have to see what happens there. Other rumors, here we go. It is being reported by Mike Johnson. We had talked previously that SmackDown might be going to 2 hours as soon as June 6th, but Mike Johnson and PW Insider is reporting that the internal television schedule for the USA Network for the being 3 hours long. So, for the fans of the show, we're kind of like, the overly saturated broadcast on SmackDown. But for the USA Network, it makes sense. They're getting the money contractually for 3 hours. So if they decide to go back to 2 hours, they might be losing money. So they might be keeping it at 3 hours. There's backstage, according to Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, they noted that WWE officials did not want Kairi Sane eating a pinfall in her return match, and they really had to throw in an audible when Zoe Stark got injured, thinking that, that could hurt her return. Does it matter to you that it was actually very typical loss in this match and not Zoe Stark?
No.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It kind of was one of the things where it happened, and I don't even remember it. So.
No, I don't think I was a surprise. It was nice to see her back, but once Zoe Stark got hurt, then, obviously, Kairi Sane wasn't going to beat Rhea Ripley. So.
But that's what I look at it. Kairi Sane wasn't even one of match anyways. So if she can get pinfall or not, what's going to matter is what happens going forward. And if she comes out on Monday Night Raw and loses again to somebody, then it's a waste. So she can easily get back on track with a quality win on Monday. I got some buy or sells here. Some hot takes, I should say. Sorry, hot takes. So I'm going to give you some hot takes, and I want you guys to agree or disagree with the hot take. First one, Big Bronson Reed's return with his alliance with Seth Rollins is a logical, perfect use of Bronson Reed. Guys, what do we think about this hot take?
I agree.
Yeah, I think I'll have to agree too, because they weren't doing. It's not like they weren't doing nothing with them, but they weren't doing a whole lot with them. So I think this is. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with this. Probably best for them.
Okay. I did see an article earlier that I'll just quickly see if I can find it here.
Thanks,
and the name of the article is 4 reasons why Bronson Reed joining Seth Rollins' stable makes no sense. The first one they give was what role could he play in Seth Rollins' group? And Braun Breaker is already there. Next one is Bronson Reed has been teasing joining the new bloodline with Solo Sikoa. So now why all of a sudden Seth Rollins? Number three is the Browns had accepted Solo Sikoa's offer. Bronson Reed never would have gotten injured. And then the last one was Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed were in the middle of a feud when he was injured. So why all of a sudden is he joining with Seth Rollins? Just something else to throw in.
Right. Hey, Hacks, thanks for the follow.
Next one. Character definition and depth of her talent is hurting Zelina Vega's championship reign.
DJ?
I'm going to disagree. I don't think she's doing that bad, to be honest.
I'm going to agree with that statement. I think, she's too tiny for me. I mean, I know with women, you don't see a lot of big women, in WWE that, are champions. And, for somebody who has, I don't think she's got a lot of wrestling ability. I mean, she's getting better and better every single week, but I just think that's hampering her.
Yeah, their reasoning why, this is exactly what they say. Diego Ricard is a quality in-ring performer and has waited a long time to become champion. The shortcomings that currently exist with her on-screen persona have nothing to do but rather than a direct result of lack of creative effort put into her character. Who is she? What motivates her? Why should fans care about her more than the more amusing Chelsea Green? And that's where I think her championship reign is kind of underwhelming because she's just another wrestler. The last hot take they have here is this one says Cody Rhodes' return sets up really a thrown together Money in the Bank main event.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah, unfortunately, I really think that, although it had been rumored that there would be some type of multi-person tag team match, and as I was talking with Mike earlier, the only thing that this does for WWE is it gets you the two main champions wrestling at a premium live event where there's no titles on the line. So it's good, it's bad, but that's what it is. And as we all know, Trivia just said, Bray Wyatt's birthday would have been Friday. He would have turned 38. Sunday, today, Bo Dallas turns 34. So it must have been a great time in their household growing up with those two people. But most importantly, May 28th, there's a huge birthday that we all need to recognize and acknowledge the true number one in all of our hearts and souls. Seth Rollins turns 39 this Wednesday, one of the most important birthdays you'll ever hear about on that specific day, as he turns 39, just 1 year away from turning 40. Guys, do we all agree or disagree that the 28th of May's most important birthday in history is Seth Rollins?
No, not really.
Can anybody think of somebody else's birthday on the 28th that might be more important?
Is it?
Me?
I didn't even know that. I was about to say, I don't know anyone else whose birthday that is, so, okay.
Yeah, mine's Wednesday, yep.
For those who don't know, Trivia's birthday is 28, so just smiling away at, chat, maybe a little lose 2 points for going below the belt there. But, early happy birthday to Trent. And
Thank you.
that's what I have for Nuggies News. Pass it along to Trivia for his independent report.
Thank you, Greg. Okay, guys, let's keep tapping that screen. Right now, Greg is the only one in here, so let's get those viewers up. This is going to be a June Indie report here. Saturday, June 7th, PAPW at the Armada Brewing Company presents Bash at the Brewery once again. They seem to be enjoy going there. I guess the crowds and everything are really into the shows they have there. Friday, June 13th, CPW presents Hunter Mania at the Bristol Police Athletic Club at 541 North Main Street in Bristol, Connecticut. Bell time is at 7 p.m. Tickets, general admission, are $15. And on that show that night, there will be an appearance by the Connecticut hardcore icon Bull Dread. Also, June 14th and June 28th, we will have Outcast Pro Wrestling. June 14th is in Gales Ferry, Connecticut at the Ledyard Middle School. Scheduled on that show will be Richard Holiday versus Mikey Midas, Katie Lothbrook versus Aaron Norman, and Kylon King versus Danny O'Brien. And also June 28th, 2 weeks later, Outcast Pro Wrestling will be at the Gathering Place at 99 Center Street in Wallingford, Connecticut, where the fans bring the weapons match between 5150 and Bull Dread. Tickets are $20 for general admission. Students and military, $15. Children under 7 are free. And the New Order Wrestling, a new organization that has just popped up, presents Now or Never on July 12th, 250 Albany Avenue in Springfield, Massachusetts. Tickets are $15. Youth under 10, $5. An appearance by Sunset Steve Garcia, Alan Bano, and once again, Bull Dread, who has a pretty busy schedule coming up there in the next couple of months. So if anybody out there hasn't had a chance to see indie wrestling in the Massachusetts, Connecticut area, definitely check it out because New England is the hotbed of indie wrestling. And that's what I have for my indie report. Right now, we're going to go and talk about Saturday night's main event.
All right. Last night's Saturday's main event came from the Yingling Center in Tampa, Florida. And once again, we are going to start off with Mr. 24/7 because you know what? He's always talking on in-ring promos when he leads off. So let's let him lead it off with a great tag match where CM Punk and Sami Zayn taking on Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Mr. 24/7, the floor is yours.
All right. Real quick, just wanted to say 2 things real quick to get back to what we were talking about with the tag match, the Cena and Logan match there. What I like about it is both champions are in that match. Maybe we get a cash in. Both titles are there. So maybe we get a cash in if the men's ladder match is before that match. Never know.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, both titles are right there, you know. The other thing, we also have another birthday next week on the 30th. This is Mrs. 24/7.
Yeah, happy birthday to Mrs. 24/7.
So that's 4 of us, all that have May birthdays.
Yeah.
4 of us in the Top Rope Report with May birthday. I thought that was pretty cool.
That makes May the 2nd best birthday month.
See-
As we all know, March is the best birthday month.
DJ, Mrs. 24/7 is going to be what, 25?
25 forever.
25 forever.
Also, I do have what ifs. I don't know if you want to do them later or whatever, but so the first match was Seth and Braun. Okay, I thought this was actually all right. As soon as the bell rang, they just all went at each other. Started beating each other down. And the ref took him a minute, but he kind of got control, and we had Seth and Sammy start off. They went at it for a little while. Brown Breaker ended up coming in, and him and Seth double teamed Sammy for a bit. Punk was kind of like, come on, ref, they're choking, they're doing this, that, and the other kind of shit that we see a lot. Let's see. So Sammy ended up. Hold on. Oh yeah, Sammy ended up coming back in, and after a little bit of action, Sammy was about to hit a haluva, and you see Paul Heyman grabbing his legs. He just had to get in there and get involved a little bit, which I thought was cool too. To have him not just out there with it making his faces that he does, which is fine. He's so good at just doing that. But for him to kind of get involved a little bit, grab his legs, and then the ref got kind of distracted there. Big Bronson Reed comes out and puts CM Punk through the barricade. And I was like, what in the world, man? Because like you said earlier, Seth is the reason why he was out. So I wanted to see him come back in and beat Seth down and just be the babyface Bronson Reed. But I think this probably is the best thing for him. So he comes in, puts Punk through the barricade, pretty much takes him out of the match. Braun Breaker hits a big spear on Sammy, and that was the match. Bronson Reed comes in, has a little stare down with Braun Breaker for a second, and Seth kind of gets in the middle, hugs him, and they all do their thing, shake hands. And Punk kind of crawls back in, and he grabs Paul Heyman's legs like he's trying to just fight, but Bronson Reed did a little, whatever he did, a back bent down, whatever he did, and then splashed him and left him laying.
I gotta make a quick pit stop. I'll be right back. Keep going, Deej.
And the four of them just kind of standing there with their arms raised. So I didn't think it was too bad. I didn't expect Seth and Braun to lose at all. I mean, if they did, then I don't know what the heck they're doing. So I'll start off with a B. I thought it was all right.
All right, trivia. What do you think? Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll go next, and we'll bounce back to him. Yeah, I mean, so we get this, about 2 minutes of filler, and after the introduction to Tessitore, and then we get, Rollins and Breaker make their way to the matchup, and then it's like 38 seconds into the match, we go to commercial. And then, they're wrestling some more, and then the crowd's really just trying to get into it, and then you go another commercial. And for me, it really, really hurt the flow of this match. I know, yeah, we weren't lucky to watch these matches on live TV. They're really there for the live crowd, so I'm sitting like shopping during commercial breaks when they're wrestling. But still, I had 2 commercial breaks in the first 6 minutes of the match.
Excuse me.
Killer for me. But, it did not take long into the match till there was a flying clothesline from the ring apron onto the announce desk. The announce desk, I don't think they mentioned that it was a new heavy duty or whatever it is. Announced desk because it didn't collapse, so obviously they didn't think about that. They didn't have to worry about that. As the match is going, we saw, Sami Zayn kind of take control, and they came back after the commercial break. Sami Zayn was getting ready to give it a haluva. And that's when Paul Heyman got involved grabbing Sami Zayn's foot. The referee was kind of questioning what he did. When you saw this big man in the background, you're like, what the hell? And then all of a sudden, realized it was Braun Breaker, and he squished CM Punk through the barricade. And, And what's great about this is Reed, Breaker, Rollins, they all have, their own different unique style, which is going to make for a really, really good faction. I really like this matchup. I gave it a B. Now we'll go back to trivia. Triv, what do you think of this match?
I thought this was a great way to start off Saturday night's main event. I was surprised when they said that the tag team match was going to be first, and it's like, all right, good. We're gonna see one of the good matches, because I had known originally that when I was watching Nico Extra on TikTok one day during the week, he had mentioned something about how Jey Uso and Logan Paul was going to be the main event, but he thought this match should have been the main event. I was glad that they started off with this match. I thought it was real good. Seth and Braun, they worked well together. I think Sammy was in the match a little bit more than Punk was. Punk was more worried, more or less worried about going after Seth Rollins than anybody else. I don't think he had very much interaction with Braun Breaker in that match. But yeah, when Bronson Reed came out, I was surprised. I was like, holy shit, it's Bronson Reed. And then he flattened CM Punk, and I was like, holy Jesus. Then after that, he gave him the tsunami off the top rope. It's like, yeah, he does that a couple more times. We're not going to see CM Punk around much longer. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. I thought it was a great way to start off Saturday night's main event. I gave it a B+.
All right. After that, we then went on to the matchup for the Women's United States Championship, as it was Zelina Vega defending against Chelsea Green. Trev, you're up first.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I didn't care too much for this match. I thought it was. I didn't think it was that good of a match. There was a lot of mistakes in this match. I mean, Chelsea Green, regardless whether she won or lost, I still love Chelsea Green. I love the way she reacts in the ring, especially when she gets a 2 count and she thinks it's supposed to be a 3 count. So I think it was actually, I think her actions in the ring were kind of humorous. And then when Zelina Vega, when Zelina Vega, botched that 619, hit her in the face, kind of bloodied up her nose. But that was a pretty impressive move that she gave. It kind of looked like pop rocks that she gave her off the top rope to, kind of grab the 3 count. But yeah, I didn't like this match all that much. I gave it a C+.
Okay. Yes, I'm up next. And yes, it is the same thing as Pop Rocks. It's just called Pro Red. Just like the RKO was the same thing as Diamond Cutter. But, yeah, I mean, it was an okay match. It was better than I thought, but not as good as what it should have been. And that missed 619. I mean, even the crowd started to roar and kind of really just cut off any momentum that could have happened. That was going on in this match. And it really lost the crowd for a bit. The power bomb on the floor that Chelsea hit on Zelina really sounded. I mean, you heard that nice thud. Luckily for Vegas, she had her hands was cradled to her neck, so she didn't, get hurt at all. I mean, Chelsea Green had that funny exchange with Kathy Kelly in the beginning for a pre-match interview, and for a moment when they mentioned that Zelina was 4-0 against Chelsea, I thought, well, maybe Zelina's still going to win, because I thought up until that Zelina was going to lose her title back to Chelsea Green. But yeah, that code red from the top rope was really cool. And yeah, she pinned her 1, 2, 3, leaving Chelsea bloody in the in the ring. It was a shorter match, but it had one big mistake. But in the end, Other than that, it was a decent match. I actually gave it a B minus.
Okay.
For 24/7.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad. The only thing I'd say is just that being a title match, it was just short. And at first, because I didn't see where or how Chelsea got busted. So I thought maybe she was really hurt, and they were like, go home. Like, we got to finish right now. Like, that's what I thought at first.
So that's what she said on Twitter. She said after the 3 count was counting, she was like, what happened? And so the referee said, you have a broken nose. We had to end the match. So,
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah, it makes sense. But I don't know. I just feel like no matter who it is, man, woman, and whatever title it is, I just feel like it deserves time. So that would be the only thing I'd say about it. I thought they did okay for what they did and the amount of time they had. It wasn't that bad. They both were able to get some good moves in. I think I'll go C plus, and that's really because of how long it was. So I'll go C plus.
okay. All right. After that, we went to the singles matchup where it was John Cena taking on R-Truth. I get to lead off, and let me just start off by saying that I love R-Truth. I mean, he came out to John Cena's music wearing his own version of John Cena's gear. I mean, he even had something, exactly what it had up here, but there was like something taped on him over here. And
Ron.
what was that?
It said Ron Cena.
Okay, there's that. Okay, that's right. I forgot exactly what it was. I didn't have it written down here. I mean, it was, it was what it was. It was John Cena. It was a short match. It was expected it was going to be Cena decisively won. Being one of his biggest fans, the only person that still had faith in him. And R-Truth escaping the AA and then started using John Cena's own moves against him. Even they gave him an AA, gave him the attitude of the STF year. I mean, did everything that Cena could do. So yeah, it made it. That made it a little bit more interesting just with that as far as the humor goes. But it's very just because of that, I can only give this C plus. I know at one point R-Truth lost some people was hearing during the match, and Cena picked him up and just dropped him right on him, which was a great quote-unquote heel move to do. But yeah, I'm going to give this overall C plus.
Okay.
24/7.
I loved every bit of it. I really did. When Cena came out, he comes out, he's in the ring. I'm waiting for R-Truth's music, or waiting for him to start rapping. And then we just hear Cena's music again, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. But I didn't expect him to be wearing the outfit too. I didn't expect him to come out with the towel. He looked at the camera, let's go to work. He did the whole thing, ran down, even slid into the ring like John does. He got in, did the rope running, threw the hat. Every single thing that John does, he did, and I freaking loved it. I didn't expect Truth to win, but I thought they gave him a lot here. I mean, he did, like you said, he did all of John's moves. And I thought he did them pretty dang good, too. The one thing that I really liked about this, and you kind of seen it at the end of John's last match, where when John was going to hit him with the title, he kind of gets that face where he's like, what am I doing? I can't do this type of thing. It's almost like he's regretting becoming a heel, or they're slowly pushing him back toward the good side. So if that is what's happening, I like that they're going to do it like that. Because he kind of hands the title back to the ref, but then he goes back to a nut shot right after. It's like, oh, you jerk. But I enjoyed it. You know, it obviously wasn't a great match, like wrestling match, but it was so good, though. I loved every bit of it. The fact that John let him, you know, basically was cool with him doing all his moves, taking an AA, taking the STFU, all of it. You know, Truth even did the shoulder tackle, the whole bit, man. It was so good. The only thing I would have liked is for Truth to actually have won. Being that it was a non-title match, I kind of, in the back of my mind, thought maybe John's going to give this to him because I don't think it would have hurt in any way. Maybe a little bit, but I mean, I kind of thought maybe we can get I don't know, like Cody coming out or someone to come out to help kind of Truth get a win here, but whatever. To me, Truth still won here with everything he did. The fans loved it. Every bit of it was good. I got a B+. I'm sticking with it.
Okay. Trivia.
Hey, Braves fan, thanks for joining. Yeah, I think the best part of the whole thing was when R-Truth came out with John Cena's music and his look and everything. I mean, one thing that took it away from me right away was it was a non-title match. I don't like non-title matches, especially on Saturday night's main event or a PLE. It was nice to see R-Truth in the ring again. It's been a while since we've seen him actually competing in a match. But yeah, he was spot on with a lot of John Cena's moves. It was like watching John Cena fight himself. It was kind of interesting. But yeah, I think they could have done a little bit better on this match, even though it was non-title. I think, Cena could have, played it up a little bit more. R-Truth did have his moments in the match, but we knew he wasn't going to win, and we knew John Cena was going to get the W. I gave it a C+.
All right. After that, we went to a singles matchup. It was a steel cage match between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Mr. 24/7, you were up.
All right. I didn't mind it too much. I thought for a cage match, it could have been a lot better. But, I mean, I get it. They obviously had a time limit and, it wasn't a PLE or anything. So I get why we got what we got. But I didn't think it was bad. Drew, before he got in, he grabbed the chair out, brought it in the ring with him. And they went at it, back and forth, big moves. They're using the cage. I thought they used the cage okay, throwing each other in it and whatnot. At one point, they both kind of went to climb out. That would be the only thing is that it only happened once or twice where they kind of were climbing and trying to get out, Because most cage matches, it happens more often where they're climbing and they're fighting a little bit on top and someone gets thrown up. So I thought there could have been a lot more to it, but they used the cage all right. Drew hits a big claymore at one point. Priest fights back and he ends up hitting South of Heaven and Drew fights back. They both use the chair a little bit. And after, I don't know, however long of them kind of just fighting, Priest ends up hitting the concerto, which I kind of was like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? But I'm like, all right, whatever, that's cool. But then he just kind of walks out. I kind of wish it was more of either a pin or even climb out. I mean, make it interesting a little. Give us something, He kind of just walked out and stepped off. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. For these two guys who hate each other so much and want to kill each other, I think we probably should have got a little bit more. I'm going to go B-.
Okay, trivia.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this match would have been a lot more brutal than it was. They both kicked out of each other's finishers, which I liked. One thing I didn't really like about this was it wasn't too long of a match, but then again, a lot of cage matches aren't really that long, depending on who's wrestling in it. You did have two big, powerful guys that were in there, beating the hell out of each other. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot more hardcore than what we saw, and I was surprised to see that. Two things I was surprised. One, that it ended with a concerto. And then second of all, they referenced back to, we had an Edge reference on that at that point. And it was like, oh, that was cool. They, it was a little Edge reference. That was cool. But yeah, then I realized Jesse Ventura was having a 70s throwback where for some strange reason he doesn't either he doesn't like it or he doesn't think you should win a cage match by walking out the door. That's one of the options you get. So kind of Damian Priest kind of took that way out. But when he stopped, it's like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to go. I'm not going to take another chance. And he ended up walking out of the cage and winning the match. I was really glad that he won because I picked Damian Priest to win. But I thought we would have probably got a lot more brutality from Drew, with the way these guys have been going at it with each other for the last couple of weeks. But I thought it was a good match. I gave it a B+.
Okay. So one thing, as far as the brutality goes, and even Jesse Ventura mentioned it, it was on NBC, guys. So, it's regular broadcast, it's not even cable. It's regular broadcast TV, where the constraints of what you can do and say and show are different than even cable shows, which is different than what you can show on Netflix. So yeah, we may have been watching it on Peacock, but it was broadcast live, 8 o'clock on a Saturday night on NBC. So yeah, as far as the brutality and everything happens, reference back to Chelsea Green and them shutting that match down because she had a bloody nose. Because once again, it's live TV on a broadcast channel. You can't do that stuff. And then we're going to go to black and white for the match. So I think we got exactly what we should have gotten with the restraints they have. Jesse, I really hope that this is the last Saturday night he's on the commentary table. I don't mind him being there annoying me, talking with Joe Testor for a couple of minutes. But dude, William Garcia is trying to announce the wrestlers, and he won't shut up and he's still talking. Not that he heard him, but we did. And you like hearing the announcers. Commentators never do that. So just shut up. Let the announcer do their job, then you can talk. Not knowing that Pat McAfee was, thinking that Pat McAfee was the only other commentator that's ever wrestled in a match in WWE. Michael Cole's undefeated at WrestleMania. He's lost in a regular matchup against, Stone Cold. So, just him not knowing that was just whatever. Just stay home. Just stay away next time. Yeah. The concerto, wasn't it set up backwards?
I think it was. Yeah.
Don't you normally clap top to top so you really get that loud smack?
Yeah.
So that was, okay. But other than that, it may not have been the best match in their series, but it was a good match. Both superstars came away looking like tough competitors. Even though one had to lose. But I'll go a solid B for this match.
Alrighty.
And then we went to the main event of the evening, as it was for the World Heavyweight Championship, as it was Jey Uso defending against Logan Paul.
Hey, Steve.
Tribute, you were up first.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I was glad at the outcome of this match because I've gone on the show numerous times having my disdain for Logan Paul. I I don't think this was that long of a match, but it was. Logan Paul has talent. I'm not going to take it away from him. He's good in the ring. He's got talent. I just don't see him as a world champion. I'm kind of glad that Jey Uso did get the win. I had mentioned before to Greg during the night. I said, what are the hey Brandon, thanks for joining. I said, what are the chances of John Cena interfering in this match? And he did, and that kind of took a little bit out of it for me. But like I told Greg, I was really surprised that the referee didn't do a disqualification when John Cena pulled him out of the ring, which I'm kind of glad he didn't, because I wanted to see a clear-cut win. And then when Cody Rhodes came out, that kind of surprised me as well. And, he gave John Cena the Cody Cutter, or not the Cody Cutter, the what the hell does he call his move?
Crossroads.
The Crossroads, thank you. He gave him the Crossroads, and now they're gonna announce. They announced it fast that they were gonna have a tag team match at Money in the Bank. But yeah, I thought this was a good match. Jey Uso gave him the spear at the end and got the 3 count. So I enjoyed it. I gave it a B+.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. I mean, yes, it had its good moments. I mean, Logan Paul's springboard moonsault looked great. And then you had your negatives. I mean, whereas like Jey Uso looked like he did his suicide dive in slow motion. And just kind of was waiting and waiting for Logan Paul to be in the right spot. But, the match itself was just under 10 minutes. So, it started with, with 12 minutes left, so I knew the match wasn't going to be that long. And, the ref getting pulled out, okay. I mean, we've seen refs get pulled out of the ring before, and I don't ever recall that ending in disqualification. So I just figured it was just going to be jerky, that was it. There was no more match. As soon as Cena started beating down on Jey Uso, I actually wasn't anticipating seeing the finishing of a match after that. But, we did. And, excuse me. Logan Paul looked confused. That's when Cody Rhodes came out and his music hit, and he ran in the ring. Logan Paul missed Cody Rhodes with the brass knuckles, and that's when he ate a spear. And it's just like, okay. I mean, when the ref came back in and counted 3, I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't the match already over? Okay, all right. But it was an okay match, and we're getting a tag team match at Money in the Bank. I gave this a B-.
All right, Brandon, thanks for joining. I sent you a text message earlier, buddy.
Just a 24/7.
All right. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, the one thing, one thing that I kind of was like, why was when Cena did come in, why the heck wasn't Logan pissed that he ruined his title match? I would have been pissed. I don't care if they're both heels and they had plans for them to be a tag team at Money in the Bank, whatever. I would have been mad if I'm going for a title and now he comes in and almost ruins it. They didn't call the match or anything, but I feel like that kind of stopped any sort of momentum Logan had, and I would have been just a little ticked off. But anyway, it was all right. I thought Logan did okay. I agree with you. Jey at times did look like he was going in slow motion. I don't know. I think it was the same as all the other matches. It was just kind of like, could have been more. It's a title match. Should have had more time. But I get why it didn't. it was all right. Yeah, Cody. So John coming in and kind of beating down Jay, which after seeing their little backstage thing, kind of thought, oh crap, maybe because he said something like the next time I see you, something, whatever he said. So I thought maybe he does, and he actually did come out and beat him down a little bit. Cody runs out. And Cody looked good. I thought he was pumped up, ready to fight. I mean, being that it was the main event, though, I don't know. I think it could have been a little bit better. I'm gonna go B minus. It wasn't horrible or anything, It just could have been better. I thought the whole thing could have been better. And then I also thought about the DQ thing, like why are we not disqualifying them for all that? But I get it too. So yeah, it was okay. B minus, I'll go.
All righty. Overall, guys?
I have to go B minus overall.
Yeah, B minus.
Yep, I definitely agree as well. B minus. So that was our Saturday night main event recap. Right now we're going to get to DJ and his what ifs, and then we'll talk briefly about tonight's Battleground show put on by NXT.
All right. So the first one I actually thought of this a few days back. What if Liv and Roxanne end up fighting for Dom? Who turns babyface if they do, or do we just get them both staying heel and we get a feud between them? Is that something that we're interested in? Because it looks like maybe we're going to get it. So what do we think about that?
I think we're going to see a little something between Roxanne and Liv, and I think if anybody's going to turn face in a situation like that, I would say Roxanne. Because Liv's got the thing, still got the thing going with Raquel Rodriguez as tag team champs. I just can't, normally in the real world they wouldn't be fighting over Dominic, but it's WWE, so they will anyway. But yeah, I think Roxanne will be the face.
I just have a hard time seeing. Well, realistically, either one of them that has face right now. But if I had to choose, I'll have to agree. I think Roxanne would be the face.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess they can do both heel and heel.
Hey, Rexy,
we
thank
see
you.
it way more often nowadays. But I do think something's going to go down there. All right. What if Solo ends up winning Money in the Bank? Who should he cash in on? The WWE title or the U.S. title? One of the titles on Raw? What would be the best way to go for him?
Greg?
I think if he were to win, does he want the title that got taken away from his family and going after John Cena? And if he did that, that would be, I think, pull pin for John Cena back to a face. Or does he want to take the title from his older brother, Jey Uso? That's the dilemma I have in my head. And I would say he would go after the title that got taken from his family and go after John Cena.
Oh, okay. I think he would go after Jey Uso. A little more of a family feud, so to speak. But I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to get it off of Jacob with the way things have been going with them. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because that would be kind of a swerve, especially with what he's saying. Like, we're going to bring the WWE title back to the family. Get Jacob thinking he's going to be doing that, and then he goes after Jacob. But we'll see. All right. So what if Roxanne or Julia, one of the two, win the women's Money in the Bank? Do we get our first women's failed cash in?
Hey,
Or
Perp.
do one of them actually win this title already?
Perp, don't forget your subscription ran out. Renew it. I don't know. I mean, would Julia against Tiffany Stratton be a good match? Yeah. Would Roxanne versus Tiffany be a good match? Yeah, I think would be, I think both of them would be real good matches, but I don't think Julia's going to win it. I'm either going with Alexa Bliss or Roxanne to win it.
But that's not the question. The question is, if Roxanne or Julia wins, would we then be expecting a failed cash-in?
Oh no,
Question.
no, I don't think we'll see a failed cash in. I mean, no, I believe every woman that's cashed in so far has won. So I don't think.
I honestly think that this year's cash-in is going to be a failure.
Okay.
I don't think it matters who it wins, whether it's Roxanne, Julia, Bianca, who returns on SmackDown next week, just in time to qualify for Money in the Bank. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So, there will be one more qualifying matchup after this week's qualifying matchup. So, I don't think it matters who's in it. My opinion is this year we get a loser. So, if you're going to do that, if Roxanne and Julia win, I think they get a real cash in.
Thanks for joining, Perp.
I do too. All right, so what if Gunther ends up winning his title back from Jay? Who would we like to see challenge Gunther first?
If Gunther wins his title back from Jay, good question. Let's go with I don't know when he's going to be back. Thinking he should have been back or back very soon. I mean, his injury was before Bronson Reed, and he's already back. I'm going to say build up a few with Ilya Dragunov.
I think it's going to end up being Seth Rollins.
Seth and Gunther?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing about that is I think if Gunther does win it back, his first title defense, I don't think he's losing. So I feel like it would have to be someone who's not going to win, but still be a good match. I like Ilya, definitely. All right. What if Logan would have gotten mad at Cena for interfering in his title match? Would we want to see a heel Cena versus a heel Logan? Can it work? Can they give us a good match?
Yeah, I think it would be a pretty good match. I think Cena would. I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think Logan Paul would probably win because there's the age factor. I mean, John Cena is getting up there in age, and I'm pretty sure Logan Paul is just a little bit faster and a little bit more, got a little bit more going on than John Cena does. So I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Sorry. Maybe in some alternate universe would Logan Paul beat John Cena. John Cena could be 75 and walk, and he's still going to beat Logan Paul at this point. Somebody like Logan Paul is not beating John Cena. But if they were to win, I don't know that a heel Cena against a heel Logan Paul would work. I think we'd have to see John Cena come back from the dark side for that match to happen.
Agreed. I think no matter what, if they were to fight, I think it wouldn't be half bad. But yeah, you're right. It would have to be Cena coming back. Yeah. All right. What if the WWE decided to have R-Truth win last night? Would it have hurt John in any way? Would we, or the fans, would we have rather that be the outcome?
I don't want to hurt John Cena at all, because I think after you would have seen the same thing you saw. Cena would hit him with a low blow, or would have hit him with the belt or whatever, so he still would have stood tall at the end. So I don't think it would have hurt Cena at all.
Thanks for liking the live, Brandon. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it would have hurt John Cena at all, because not only I think it would have been a big feather in the cap for R-Truth, but it wouldn't have really bothered that much because the title wasn't on the line. I mean, I think we would have seen a different John Cena last night if he had defended the title.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's probably the biggest factor in it, is that it wasn't a non-title match. I think it wouldn't have hurt at all. All right. What if instead of Bronson Reed coming back and joining Seth and Braun, we got like a Sammy turning heel and joining them, and Bronson coming out as a baby face to get back at Seth? Would that have been better than what we got, or not?
I think that would have worked as well. I mean, I had originally thought that Sammy was going to turn last night. It didn't happen, but I think either way, it would have worked for me. Whether we had Sammy turn and then Bronson come out and align with CM Punk and go after Seth Rollins. So either way, I think it would have worked.
Yeah, I think if he had turned and Sammy's in turn and Bronson Reed came out as a face, I think we wouldn't have had the questions that we're going to have as to why he's partnering with Rollins. So storyline wise, we're now invested in what's going on, how this happened, and if he didn't and he was the one that squished Seth Rollins through the barricade, then we're like, oh, okay. So it's more intriguing with the way the story actually happened last night.
Yeah, I think me personally, would have rather seen it the other way. Just because, you knocked you out, he put you on the shelf for a little while. I would have been pissed coming back and trying to knock him down, but all right, so I got two more. What if we get another match between Drew and Priest at some point, whenever Drew comes back? How does the WWE end this feud with what we've seen so far? How does that become the last one? What has to happen?
Somebody die? I don't know. I don't know how you end it. If Drew McIntyre comes back after Damian Priest, it almost has to be loser leaves WWE.
I was just thinking that.
Something drastic. Loser gets fired from SmackDown, and then the other one shows up on Raw. So yeah, it's gonna an ambulance, something. I'm hoping this ended, but it's kind of like how do you what else do you do if they continue the feud but some type of loser leave WWE match?
Right. I was thinking of that, or possibly ending it with a Hell in a Cell. Brandon says Hell in a Cell, loser leaves. But I don't think Drew McIntyre can handle another Hell in a Cell match. But, either way, a loser leaves WWE would probably be the best way to go.
Yeah, I would have thought that being in a steel cage match, that's their way of getting out of this. But being that Priest won, I feel like they have to go again, which I don't want to see, but I don't know. I think you're right. It has to be something drastic. I don't know. Last one. kind of really far-fetched, but it's a what if. So, what if the WWE decides to give the Wyatt Six a humongous push? And by that, I mean tag titles, a mid-card title, Nikki Cross getting a women's title, maybe Uncle Howdy winning one. They're getting a whole bunch of belts. Can we get behind a dominant Wyatt Six holding a bunch of titles? Can that work? Or probably not.
Nah, I kind of think WWE should go with the Wyatt Six the way they are. If they win a title, I mean, okay, that might have a little dissension in the ranks because I got a title, you don't, blah blah blah, something like that. But I think the way they have the Wyatt Six right now, I think is the best way to go with them.
And what way is that? Showing up once every 5 months and being irrelevant?
No, just showing up and wrestling in matches, but making them dominant in matches. Maybe give them a tag team title, but I can't see them, maybe taking a lot of the titles. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the Wyatt, 2 members of the Wyatt Six having the tag team championship.
So let's go with Joe Gacy and Eric Rowan as the tag team champions. Give Dexter Lumis the United States champion, and let's give Nikki Cross the women's United States champion, and then have Uncle Howdy orchestrate it all. Dude, I'm all for it. I am totally all for it. Nikki Cross, feuding with Zelina Vega, it gives Zelina Vega purpose. It gives somebody feuding with her. I don't see Nikki Cross being, character-wise, a contender for Tiffany Stratton, but I'm all for throw the mid-card titles at this group.
Yeah, I agree too, because like you said, they're not doing anything at all with them. So if you want to just give them a huge push, I think that's the way to go. Just get them in there, throw some titles on them. Don't have to be for long, but give their faction as a whole, let them run shit for a little while just to get them up there. I mean, I think that'll work out good. But who knows?
What happened in a Money in the Bank ladder match if somebody not in the ladder match won the briefcase or grabbed the briefcase? During the Money in the Bank ladder match, all of a sudden the lights go out when they come on. Uncle Howdy's sitting at the top of the ladder with the rest of the Wyatt Six around, and everybody else is laying in the ring.
Dude, that would be so cool.
That would be awesome.
I would not mind that at all.
That would be
Especially
something.
because we haven't seen nothing like that before.
Right.
I'd be down with that.
Yep. All right, DJ, thank you for the what ifs. Before we close the show tonight, we're gonna go over the card for tonight's.
About 3 minutes. My brother just messaged me.
Oh, all right. Well, then go right ahead, Greg. I'll talk about the Battleground card tonight. It's okay. Well, that's up to you. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a 6-man tag match. It's Hanky Tank and Josh Fricks taking on Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, and Sean Spears of the Culling. The NXT Women's North American title match, Sol Ruka defending Kalani Jordan. We have a grudge match where it's Tony D'Angelo against Channing and Stax Lorenzo. We have the TNA World title match where Joe Hendry defending against
Hey, Russell, man, thank you.
NXT Women's title match, Stephanie McCare defends against Jordan Grace. And we have the NXT title match, Oba Femi taking on Stephanie McCare's boyfriend, Miles Bourne.
Okay, and that is our Battleground match card for tonight. Want to thank everybody on TikTok for tuning in, guys. Great job today, great show. So on behalf of the Nugster Greg and Mr. 24/7, this is the illustrious Mr. Trivia for Top Rope Report saying thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch us all later on. All right. Want to thank everybody for tuning in there.